Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mila, you're at Alexandrian Archives. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, welcome back. Thank you for sticking around. Today I have an individual book review which I'm trying to do because my goal is 100 books, but I don't think I'll get to it. And in case I do read trilogies or series, I will try and put it into one video. That way I will have content for you and you can watch the individual book reviews without me getting confused about the books that I've read one after the other. So far I've only read 3 books, so this isn't the second book review. I'm a little bit behind, but not the end of the world because we are getting to it right now. So the book I will be reviewing is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. I am so late to the game. I kid you not. I am so late to the game. But I read it nonetheless. So what happened was, my cousin, Danaya, who doesn't read, if you follow me on my Instagram, you'll know about her. I have titled her as the cousin that doesn't read. She's a huge fan of murder mysteries. She loves Criminal Minds. She loves true crime podcasts. I have a crime aspect, I have a murder aspect in my Dark Academia. It took us 6 hours to pin all the alibis, to pin all the truths, to pin everything, who killed who, if there's a second murder, blah blah blah. So she's the person I go to, right? So she got a box set for Secret Santa from one of her friends of the 3 books. So Good Girl's Guide to Murder, Good Girl, Bad Blood, and As Good as Dead. She decided to pick up A Good Girl's Guide to Murder because she's like, okay, I'm gonna pick it up. And she started texting me updates. I'm like, okay. And I tend to avoid, if you know me, I tend to avoid TikTok books, right? BookTok books, because I don't trust them after Fourth Wing and Light Lark. So I was like, but if my cousin is reading, okay, I'll give it a shot. So what I did was I listened to a sample on libraryofalexandria. I have the app. I pay monthly for credit and I support an indie bookstore in Toronto at the same time. So I do have an affiliate link for Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and you can also sign up using an affiliate link and it will help me and you will be supporting my channel. I am a broke college student. Please help. But yes, so I listened to a sample, which was very useful because I'm very picky with narrators, so I appreciate that. And you can't really listen to samples from library books, but I listened to a sample and it was a full cast. It had all the like telephone ringing, all the sort of it sounded as if someone was actually talking through a phone. It was so cool. It was so cool. I thought the narrators were fantastic. The cast did amazing. I was so intrigued. So yeah, the funny thing though, I'm gonna put a little side note. I'm not gonna get into like details in this review, just a general overview of it. But funny thing is, I found out recently that the UK version and the US version are a little different. In the US version, they are in Fairview. In the UK version, they're in a town called Little Kilton or something, or yeah, something like that. So I found out that I had accidentally downloaded the UK version on my Kobo, and then I had ended up listening to the American edition via audiobook. And it should have clocked sooner because when I was reading, I also sometimes read and listen at the same time. I should have clocked it, honestly, because something was not adding up when I was reading. Like the sentences were not adding up on the same, like the audiobook said the sentence at one point and then the sentence either didn't appear or appeared either earlier or later. I think most of the time later in the book on my Kobo. So that was a funny thing. It didn't change a big chunk of the story. I do think I enjoyed more the UK ebook because I thought I related to Pip a lot more in terms of characterization, but because I had been so attached to Pip in the American version, it's hard to see a complete difference because it's sort of like a mix of the two. But I think I did like Pip more in the UK edition, and I think that's a common consensus that you do like Pip in the UK edition. And I think Pip is supposed to be neurodivergent coded to a certain extent. I definitely caught on that she was very neurospicy, to put it simply. That was not a neurotypical train of thought that she had, okay? Hyperfixating on a murder is not a neurotypical trait. Okay? Reining in the brother of the supposed murderer is not a neurotypical trait. Anyways, I just found it funny. I definitely clocked that there was some neurospiciness going on, because that is not the brain. Also, it's just her thoughts. It was just like a train of thought, like an endless train of thought, which honestly, same. But anyways, so on to the disclaimers aside, on to the actual review. My synopsis, simply put, it follows a girl named Pip, or Pippa. She lives in this town. We're gonna go with Fairview, I guess, as a general thing. Ooh, hold on, this helps actually light up my face a little. It's just... Anyways, so we follow a girl named Pip who has a senior project, and she chooses the murder of a girl named Annie Bell, and this happened 5 years prior to her becoming a senior. And the story with Annie Bell is that she was supposedly killed by her boyfriend at the time, whose name was Sal Singh, and because of that, Sal's family has basically become shunned by the whole of the community, and it's sort of like a, ooh, go to the ghost house, you know, situation, like knock on the door of the ghost house, right? And so supposedly Andy was killed by her boyfriend Sal, and then he went on to himself, according to the police. And the Pippa was like, something does not add up. Something does not add up. So Pip doesn't believe it. She drags Sal's younger brother Ravi into it. If you've heard of a man named Ravi Singh going around on booktok, that's this guy. And at first it's obviously like a project, right? And she's supposed to study the effects of media on like a murder project and how it can help, how it can be detrimental. But then it comes to the point where she's actually solving the murder. You know, like she's piecing everything. There's a murder board. She has a murder board, you know? So yeah, I can't say much, obviously. I think the twists were fun. I had a really fun time. The picture that my cousin sent, because I don't have a physical copy, is a banger. I will put it up here. I obviously edited it a little bit, but it was a pretty cool picture. I did give her some direction, because I am the one with the bookstore, and I did have a sort of idea for it, but yeah, primarily it was on her. So thank you for that, Danaya. I really appreciate my thoughts. Now, my review, you know, the reason that you're watching this. Super fun YA mystery. I thought the twists were good. I didn't see them coming. I'm very picky with my murder mysteries, honestly, because you can oftentimes see the, you know, twist coming, see the, you know, murder coming from like a mile away. The only other book that caught me off guard was the Truly Devious series, but I actually got bored during the second book, where I think we were supposed to find out what happened, and so I googled it, and so maybe I think the twist in the first book got me. I think the overall mystery didn't get me, because I was like, this guy is sus, and I was right. So again, I'm very picky, but highly recommend this one. I thought it was fun. Audiobook, as I said, has a fantastic cast. There were like noises, there were sound effects. Some of the characters you're not supposed to like, and the voices like drove you up the wall, rightfully so. You know, like there was one cop character who was like being super racist towards the Singh family. They're Indian, so he was like being ridiculously racist, and I don't think he called them like terrorists or something, but he said something along those lines. And I was shocked. I was like, this son of a gun. And it was the voice too that affected me. And so yeah, highly recommend the audiobook. Romance was super cute. I see why people love it so much, and I see why people love Ravi so much. Don't listen to it if you're in a spooky place, especially because there's a scene where Pippa goes camping with her friends, and then they see a flashlight in the woods, and then they go running after that flashlight, and it's dark and it's raining, and I think Pippa falls at one point and they're screaming at one point. Don't do that. Don't listen to that part if you're in a spooky spot, because I was in the stacks and I was listening to it and I kept having to like turn to watch my back because I was genuinely being a little spooked. But anyways, I think I would highly recommend it. I recommend it for fans of YA mysteries, the booktok girlies. If you're in a reading slump, read this book. Just trust me. Just trust me. Just trust me. So also going forward, I think this will be the overall structure of my individual book reviews. So I'll give a small synopsis in bullet point form, as brief as possible, with the least amount of spoilers as possible. If there are trigger warnings, if there are content warnings, I will list them or I will say them out loud. Whatever, I will always link down the Storygraph page, the Goodreads page, any affiliate links if you want to buy the book and also support me. And I will have my thoughts, and then I will have it like a little recommendation section. Would I recommend it to? Who I would recommend this to? And you know, because I like doing these. I'm just gonna adjust the brightness. Because I like doing these reviews. I think they're fun and they really force me to think about the book that I read and its contents and how I felt about it, instead of just going with the flow of everyone else's thoughts. Because I think we all tend to do that. But yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Like, comment, subscribe. Hit the bell icon to be notified of every time I post. Please do follow my bookstagram, as I am more active on there. I also have a blog and a TikTok, which I will start linking because I've sort of been more active on it. But yeah, overall, I hope you enjoyed this video. Do let me know your thoughts and comments down below. What do you think is better, the US version, the UK version? Will you be getting the other version if you read one of them? Will you be listening to the audiobook? Have you tried Libraryofam? Etc, etc, etc. I hope you enjoyed this video at the end of the day. And yeah, I will see you in the next one. Happy reading!